What's up, family? Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Listen, you know the drill. Like, subscribe. Hey, today is going to be a special day. I got my mother here, right? So she was gracious enough to come and allow me to do a video. So it's unscripted. This should be fun. I've asked her some questions. My mother does not like surprises, but we're just gonna chat a little bit today. But hey, let's go back. Hey, like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all your support. We talked about the Turo thing. You've taken the journeys with me. Here's another journey. We're gonna unpack Justin a little bit, right? We're gonna learn about me as a kid. We're gonna set. Let me just set the story up. I have two older brothers. They're not here, not as important as me, but two older ones. So they had my brother Cortez, and they was like, just not right. So they tried with Julian again, and that still wasn't like. It's like, dang, like still not it. Then I came, and it's like answered prayer. God finally did it for us. So I'm that guy. But no, let's dive into it a little bit. Hello, Mom.
Hello, Justin.
It's be fun. So, raising three boys. Actually, let's not talk about. Let's talk about me. How was I as a kid? Let's start baby. Like Harper, 1, 2, 3, that age range.
That's toddler.
I mean, whatever.
So are you
Toddler,
saying
kid. Yeah.
baby?
Yes, baby. How was I as a baby?
Well, as far as being a baby, actually, Justin was, as a baby, he was the best
That's baby.
actually.
Yes. Yes.
As far as sleeping all night
Yeah.
and was hardly didn't hardly cry
That's
or
right.
fuss or.
That's right.
I mean, he was a very good baby.
Why you put emphasis on baby?
Just one baby.
So obviously something changed. So I was a very good baby.
Yeah.
So that's it. So, but you wanted me to be a girl.
A girl, absolutely.
Why?
I did. I was expecting a girl.
So how was the
Well,
news?
well, actually, I wasn't expecting to have another child at all.
So I wasn't like I'm not like regret baby or nothing like that, am I?
Of course not. No.
Sure sounded like it was going there. So I wasn't expecting that, but that's why I guess I was such a blessing because
Yes. Mm-hmm.
God knew what you all needed, and that was me.
That was you.
Okay. How was it raising all boys?
Well, I didn't have any experience with girls at all, so all my experiences have been with males, with boys, and which meant a lot of activity and busy and rumbustious and just.
Who was rambunctious? That was mainly Cortez though, right?
Mouth, which means that what comes out your mouth is either going to be your future or your funeral.
Talking about you.
I'm just saying, I just throw them in there every now and again. That was mainly Cortez,
That was,
right?
yeah, mainly, yeah, mainly,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But you know the thing about it, Craig.
Hold on. Craig. So my name is Justin Craig Vaughn. My middle name is Craig. So my family calls me Craig. So don't randomly see me and be like, hey, Craig, because I'm going to be like, there's some barriers to being able to call me Craig. But go ahead. Sorry. Just needed to put that out there.
Thank you, Scoop.
No. Oh, wow. That is not okay. That is not okay.
So, just having all boys in the household, then me being the only female in the house. I mean, that was a little different, I believe. But I grew up in a household full of boys, so that was really, I was actually kind of accustomed to males. So it wasn't just strange. It's just that you guys were just very busy. I believe, as most kids are, I would assume, you all were involved in sports, in music, and just very active in all kind of activities.
Okay. What did Saturdays look like in our household? for me, like, and you all see, I vlog on Saturdays mainly. See me here with Harper and like the B-roll and things like that. So Saturdays for me, it's like in my mind, Saturdays are mornings or a day of like you get up, do laundry, you clean, get the house, blah blah blah. And talking through that, that's how you raised us, right?
Right. Saturdays was the time to get things together, to get the house together, to, as you stated, to do laundry, to clean the house, and also to prepare what we were going to need for Sunday, because you were not allowed to get up on Sunday morning trying to figure out what you were going to put on. That was all done on Saturday.
So where does that come from? Like, so was that something that was passed to you and you passed to
Yes,
us?
it was passed to me.
Okay.
In my mother's house, you didn't get up on Sunday morning ironing clothes and trying to figure, or at that time, shining your shoes and all that. That was a Saturday thing.
Huh.
You got up on Sunday with everything in its place ready. So we didn't, because it was the Lord's day.
And granted, I mean, we wouldn't have time to do it on Sunday anyway because we was in church all day. Like, granted, like, why
All
you look
day?
pretty much all day. And that's back in the time where, well, some churches still do it, but we haven't done it in a long time, my church. But that's back, like, evening services. So here's legit how it is. You go to Sunday school in the morning,
Absolutely.
and then you went to Sunday school, then there's church.
Yes.
And then if there's a guest church or something like some type of anniversary, right? Like the little soft mints and nuts type of anniversary, you do that, and that's normally maybe 2 o'clock or so. But then you got to come back to your church for evening
Was for
service.
evening service, but that wasn't every Sunday.
Listen, we got to tell the truth here. So that was most Sundays, though. A lot of Sundays.
Okay, I'll give you that. It was a lot of Sundays, but it wasn't like every Sunday.
I mean, I'm not knocking my upbringing. I mean, you know,
It
church
was,
is
it
church.
was a lot of Sundays.
Yeah. Thank you. Now see, now you said it wasn't. Now you said it's a lot. So it was a lot of Sundays. So that means you're getting home around 8:30. Okay, time to get ready for
Maybe
school.
9, maybe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah, it
All
was
day.
late. Yeah,
All day.
considering. Yeah.
okay. So Saturday routine. So raising boys wasn't too, but you said we ganged up on you at times, right? Because of a house full of guys.
Especially when you all became like in that teenage, high school, middle school age. Yeah, yeah, you would kind of got with your dad. Yeah, y'all would.
I wouldn't per se. I wish I had more brothers here to kind of. So
Yeah, you all did kind of gang up on me.
okay.
Being the only female in the house, it was like when you, and you, definitely you,
Whoa.
when you became in that teen age and becoming into your own, it was like you knew, and I was just a woman.
I did. She's making me sound so bad. Really? Okay. Okay. Because we were, like, story goes, and I do remember. But you called me your running buddy, right?
Until you got to a certain age. Yeah, you were my running buddy. We did. I mean, you were with me all the time until you hit a certain age in middle school, and it's like, who is this kid?
Wasn't there, so let's
I don't know him.
let's rewind back. So was there like a trip that you were going on that I
Yeah,
cried?
we were, the church was going with your dad. He had to speak in Texas, so we were taking like a bus, a chartered bus on this road trip to Texas, and well, they were, and the church was, and all of you all were, but I had decided that I was not going to go. I was going to stay home. And this is before you turned, though.
Sorry, I'm a vampire now, you guys.
This is
I was
before you
bitten,
turned.
then I turned for the worst.
So when you found out that I was not going, you were very perturbed about that, and you said, "I have to go, because you just can't leave me at home by myself." And you were so concerned. You had tears in your eyes. So I just grabbed a couple of things because it was an overnight trip, and just went ahead and and went on the trip because you were just so passionate
That's right.
about your
Sounds
mother
like me.
at that time.
At that time, so when did I turn as a vampire? Like what age was it? You said middle school?
Yeah, and when you be in those teenage years, like 14, 15, yeah. And then, we kind of, it was during that time when I guess your little manliness began to develop and all of that. So,
That didn't happen with all the boys though.
but we're talking about you.
Okay, very true. Let's bring it back
Yeah, we're
around to
talking
me.
about you.
I did open it up that way. So,
But honestly, by the time you started going through all that, it wasn't that big of a deal.
because you had been through it before.
Well, just by the time you. But do
Yeah.
you remember when you were in middle school, and I believe it was the seventh grade, and when I looked at your grade card, it didn't make much sense to me. I mean,
What you
you
mean?
were passing, but it wasn't like there was no effort. There was no. So, if you can remember, during the summer of that year, before you were getting ready to go to the next grade, I went up to the school, talked to the counselors, and I told them to take you out of regular class.
Put me in advanced
Put you
classes.
in
What
advanced
sense does
classes.
that make? What sense does that make? It didn't help though. But yeah, she did do that. I do
told them
remember that.
to put
I
you
remember you
in
telling me that.
advanced classes, and they said,
I
"Well,
was hot.
we don't."
upset.
You were more than hot. I don't think
I
you even
was
spoke to your mother for a while
upset. That was punishment. That didn't make anything.
because I knew your ability, and I knew that you were not operating at your full potential. You were just stuff was easy, so you were just sliding through, just doing what you could do, and that was it. So that's why I took you out.
So here's the thing, though. That's how I start. Here's the thing. No, so it was you. Dad never. Dad may have did it once, but my parents used to come up and do surprise visits,
Yeah, I did.
and that was especially in middle school. Not in high
Yeah.
school. It was in middle school.
Yeah.
Eisenhower Eagle, whatever. They used to do surprise visits, and I think one time, you caught me kind of. I was acting a fool. I wasn't like a class clown. Was not that. But I was just engaging with other students at the time doing class where it probably wasn't appropriate. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. At
Yeah.
any moment, you never knew when
It's
I
very
would
true.
just walk by the classroom.
That's true.
But I never went in and disrupted anything.
One time you sat in the back.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did. I remember that. I have nightmares to this day about that sometimes. No, so with that, but yeah, so you did put me in advanced classes. My mother was very big on education, and schooling that comes from your background as.
An educator.
So that was she was very particular about that. So even if I back up to grade school, like it's one thing. And here's the story, right? So there's one thing I knew, right? I knew if teachers were, and it's not just I wasn't the kid. I didn't always go home and tell teachers, but when I felt like something wasn't right, I knew if I told my mother that she would take care of it, right? So that's, you hear my brothers talk about my mother is thug, all that. That's just teasing. But there's a certain kind of whatever, left, right, whatever it is, but she can click on like a switch and be that protector. So we had just, there was a few, I don't know timeline, but we had moved into a house, fairly nice size house. The house is still in now, right? So I moved into that. I won't give the dimensions or tell you how many rooms, but big house still. But for me then, it was like really big. So on a field trip, driving past the kind of neighborhood that we live in, and like the teacher was in front of me in the school bus, and another kid, and we were just kind of talking about different stuff. And you know how kids do, that's my car, bye, 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 it's my house, whatever. So driving past, and I was like, I live over there. And I tell one of the kids, and I was bragging, I mean, it's a big house. So I was like, yeah, we got, 5 this and 5 blah, blah, blah. And the teacher was like, You must be talking about. I remember it like it was yesterday. Now, her name was Miss Hamilton. Matter of fact, I remember. I wish I remember your first name now, but her name was Miss Hamilton. So she was like, no, you must be talking about a duplex or an apartment. I was like, no, it's a house, and she was like, no, you don't live in a house that big. So, and it wasn't at that moment, but I was bothered by that. I was upset. Like, don't tell me I'm lying. I know what kind of house I live in. So I told my mother when I got home, and she, having like a house coat, but they tease about mom was having a house coat going on to school. But, that same day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, same day I told her. You remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
What was that conversation like?
No.
Say, no, I'm old now. Not like I'm still a kid. But you talked to the teacher, right?
Yeah, I went directly up to school. Yeah. Not only did I talk to the teacher, I talked to the principal, and just kind of got some things understood.
What type of things? The people want to know. Like, what was that conversation like? I don't even know.
Well, just the inappropriateness of that conversation, and what should not happen, educator to educator. What should not happen, and what I expected never to happen again.
So do you think, and this is kind of like, I guess, a nugget that I would want you to give, but the importance, not do you think, let's start, the importance of either the parents or at least one of the parents being highly engaged and with the schooling, the teachers and the principal, from how important is that?
Oh, it was definitely important. It's major. We are, as parents, our children's first advocators when it comes to education and really just anything else in life. But if we don't stand for our children, now we all, as parents, we know our kids. We know what they're capable of, whether we want to admit it or not. We know. But when, like for you, I would have to keep asking you questions to get stuff out of you about your day at school. But in questioning you, then I will kind of figure out what's really going on. But when you came home and I didn't even have to pull nothing out of you, then that was major to me, which meant I needed to take care of that right away. But I think it's important for parents to listen. Your child is not always wrong. And not always switching stuff up or to make themselves look good. Just listening and checking stuff out without letting it just go by, but check it out to see exactly what is going on. Without being, and I was not irate, I didn't have to raise my voice or all of that, but we can get a good understanding.
And that you did.
Yeah, I did.
She got her understanding. Because I don't remember any other issues after that. I think the teacher started bringing me lunch to school after that. I think I'm kidding. Like, here's the Skittle Justin. Just very nice to me. Shined my shoes one time.
Oh,
it was just like, it was amazing after that point. But no, so that's the story. So to that point, I think for me as I reflect on it now, right, you're able to kind of look back on more things. That was extremely important to me because I knew I had that support, right? So it's not, and I wasn't a bad kid, but it's not like I went to school to start stuff or do stuff, and I'm gonna get but I knew if something was wrong, I had the support of my parents at home, that they would be an advocate for me and things like that. And when the school knows that, as my mom was saying, that changes the whole narrative and the whole game of things. So,
well, on that point, what I think is important also was what we always told you and your brothers, that stay in a child's place. You don't get out of a child's place and try to confront an adult, like adult to adult. No, you come home, you let us know what happened, and let adult to adult handle it. But you stay in a child's place. Now, you did pretty good with that. Julian did pretty good with that.
Tia's not so good.
Not so much.
Amen, somebody.
Tia's, next time you can sit on the couch and we can happy to talk with you about your experience. So perfect. So that's middle school. That's grade school. A little bit of middle school. We talked about you popping up. Put me in advanced classes, right? doing all that, and then by that time I had turned, so I was no longer the running buddy and things like that. What would really burn me though was when they would send different people from the church to pick me up for middle school, and it would be in the church van.
It was a ride.
That is crushing and very humbling.
It was a ride. It was.
I mean,
It was
like
a ride. It was that or walk. So it was a
I
ride.
would rather walk. One time I had to walk when it was snowing because y'all forgot to get me dead. But
Okay, I know.
yeah, it was dead. But anyway, so we get into high school. So let's see what. I transitioned high school a few times. What happened?
It
there?
wasn't my decision like that to allow you to switch. You wanted to, and your dad
Oh, there we go. That guy thing. You're
went
dead.
along with you because you wanted to switch schools because of basketball.
Which obviously didn't pan out great for me.
No, it
I
did
don't
not.
have to agree with it like that, Bob. Don't have to agree with it. I haven't played in a long time, but give me a few months and I'm right back in there, like swim. I'm in, like Flynn. I got it. But no, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
Started at
good.
Washington. I went to Sligo because of basketball.
Right,
Wanted to
exactly.
do that, and
Better program as far as sports go.
right.
It was a better program, and that's what you wanted to be.
And
a
the
part
coach had
of.
talked to me, and one of my
Yeah.
guys from Washington went over there too, and it was supposed to be this whole thing. And I don't think I lasted long enough to even, yeah, because I think it was only a semester there, and then we went to Shawnee Mission North. Yeah, that lasted a day. I was adamant about that. Listen, I went out to, and I ended up graduating from there, but I was that day. It was just it was a culture shock for me. That's what it was.
It was a culture shock.
It was a big it was a cult, and I was like, this ain't me. I told them, I don't care what y'all do, and I meant it. I was like, I'm not going back to that school tomorrow. I was like, by any means, I will walk around the block. I will leave. I was adamant I was not going. So
I think that was your sophomore year.
Yeah.
That we
Yeah.
that we allowed you to transition there, and you couldn't take it.
yeah, so then went back to Washington, but ended back up and then I was like, okay, like because I was starting to grasp the whole. Not to say Washington is a bad school, but was starting to grasp kind of what we were trying to do, and I just kind of
Right, and
chunked it up at Shawnee Mission North.
well, I felt that I was on board at that time. By that time, because I did feel like the diversity would be good for you because you were going to college.
Yeah, I was going. Wasn't no
You were
option.
going.
It was not no option for me. It was not an option.
No.
Like it was so much not an option. I thought it was just like a normal like you know how you go from elementary to middle school to high school. I thought college was just kind of like the normal progression. Like so, I didn't. Yeah, wasn't an option. I said it was a bad deal, but
So the diversity was good because I felt in particular that you would get kind of adjusted to diversity more, and so when you got to college, it would be a lot easier for you, and making you stay in advanced classes would give you an up on those courses that you would need because you were going to go to college. And I saw in you at that time in high school the business mind. So I just kept asking you about what about business administration? I think that would be a good path for you to take and all that.
so pin it there. My mother has a lot to do with 90 something percent to do with college, the degree, 100% to do with why I chose K-State. So a lot to do with that. I was not going to do KU at all. So I got family at KU and Willie and all. I listen, just trash.
Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Yes, I love trash.
But anyway, so
But K-State was not your first choice.
no, Prairie View was.
Prairie View was your first choice.
Yeah. So first choice.
So, and we looked at it.
Yeah, we put a deposit down for a dorm and all that
Everything.
stuff.
Went for a visit,
Then I went to K-State.
and after that first visit, the Lord and I knew that was not the place for you.
Yeah. So Prairie View is a really good school,
And
but
I said it's that,
yeah. So I think for me though,
for you.
I think their fear was that I would have got extremely distracted.
Extremely.
Probably would have. Who knows? I got Dwayne cracking up. Listen, probably I got D Easy on the camera today. He's behind the ones and the twos. But shout out to John's homecoming, man. Proud of you, young man. But anyway, so yes, I probably because I was having fun on that college tour. I was like, woo, this is amazing. Like, please, I was so excited. But then we went to K State, and I really liked K State too. And I think the thing for me with K State was it was far enough as I thought. Good story. It was far enough to not like they couldn't surprise me and just pop up as I thought. But it was close enough to where I could get back. So and I really liked the campus. Once at K State, and it was a Miss Katz actually, funny Wildcats. But her name was Miss Katz. She was the what do they call that?
She was the one of the administrators of
the counselors.
The business department.
Yeah. So we met with her. She was really nice. I didn't know she was leaving. By the time I had started, she was retired or whatever. So I really fell in love with talking to her, and I was like, this lady's really great. And the way they toured me, so they just kind of sold me on K-State.
And they laid it out so good that you understood the path that you would take, and you understood when you graduated the opportunities that their graduates had as far as finding, that job and all of that. So their department was pretty tight. They had the whole program, study hall, all of that. It was pretty much set.
I went to K-State, did okay, got my act together. Second semester was rough for me. Rough, got kicked out of College of Business. That's a whole nother vlog. I had to do that, tell you about myself. Got kicked out, got a letter, did all that crying and stuff. I was like, I'm not coming back home and be one of those kids that come back home and everybody's like, what happened? Why are you back? Whatever. So got my act together, called my parents and, whatever. And sometimes you just need that to kind of, and it clicked on. And from there, I was like, pounded it out. But it's one thing about college and grades, once you get behind, that GPA is very hard. It's easy to knock it down, but it's so hard to get it back up. And I had to climb back into the College of Business to be accepted back there in order to get my degree and all this other stuff. So anyway, did that. Let's talk about dating though. Once I started dating. So how did you so you got boys, right? They start dating. We're going to talk about me because I know my experiences. I don't know Tiz and Julian.
Do we know all your experiences?
You probably don't. And neither will you. No, so let's talk about that. When I became old enough, right, to start dating. Yeah. How did you feel about that?
Well, of course we had our...
Be honest, Mom.
I didn't have nothing against you dating.
Okay.
Did I?
It sure seemed like it, but... Perception. That was just my perception.
Yeah, it was your perception.
Yeah.
But I didn't have, any negativity about you dating. Of course, every mother wants their child to, or when you start dating, to date what we consider the right type of person or the right type of girl. Mm-hmm. So why are you smiling?
I've been smiling the whole time. So you just what I've been. It's good. So difference of personalities, right? So my dad is very much so. He comes in a room and it's like he knows everybody. Hey, how you doing? Find out. I know your uncle. I know it's all that crazy stuff, right? So he does that. So it was always if I was to, and I didn't bring people around that much.
Your personality.
Oh Lord.
That I'm sure that's why I said you probably didn't know everybody.
I walked into this one.
That you dated because you, like you said, you just didn't bring them around. So at a certain age, we didn't know that maybe you were dating somebody until later.
I'm just a private person. That's all I say. I'm just a private person.
With the P, sneaky with
No.
S.
I was just private.
Just
private person.
Okay. Private. Okay.
Yes. Mother's different personality, right? It's not your personality to do that.
No.
So if the times or the few times where I wouldn't necessarily bring somebody around. No, I'm not saying give me a chance here. So it wasn't. It was just a dynamic of a difference. They very blah blah blah, and you kind of hello and kind of I don't know if that's your way. What is your way of filling somebody out? Like not somebody, but let's include all the boys into this, right? Do you have a strategy as a mother where your sons are bringing somebody home that you kind
No, just like we're doing talking, it's just talking, kind of get a feel for them and their personality, and you kind of know a yay or a nay.
of okay?
But see, when you're in college, of course,
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all didn't know.
no, we didn't know. But my main concern was that you stick in college, graduate,
Right.
and all that. That
Right.
was my main concern.
Which I did.
Yeah, you did.
Which I did.
With the help of the Lord, with prayer, and all that. Yeah, you did.
Okay. So got through college. So we kind of talked. So that is a very kind of run through the woods type of deal. With me as a as a kid and my mother's perspective, that's what I wanted to give is my mother's perspective, and it's like not enough time on this one vlog to kind of unpack some of the funny stories that we can tell about different things. I will say, and I said it kind of briefly before, but honestly, I would not be what my drive and my focus. A lot of things. I'll say this. A lot of things I get from my mother, right? But a lot of things I get from her. I'm very neat, very organized. I get that from my mother. Not to say my dad is not. So I'll twist my words around. So I get that from my mom. Of course, the education. We talked about that. Pursuing education, very strong. One of the reasons, because my mother had her, and we're going to have to do this conversation again because I want to unpack more of my mother's story because I think you all be it's not necessarily interesting. I think it's powerful, and I try to get my mother to kind of, get more unbutton a little bit more. She knows I tell her a lot that because I think her story, single family home, even from like college, you talked about riding a bike
Yes.
in college, like to the grocery store, putting the groceries on the handlebars and all of that, from her support of her brothers to having kids, but still pursuing her master's degree and leaving us at home with my dad who was making a hamburger helper and he called it jackaroni and we thought we was really having something special. I was like, man, he doing his hamburger here, then he throw cheese the next day. We thinking we got all these different, that man's a genius. Listen, Bishop Jack, you are a pure genius for that. So, but anyway, so to all of that, which is very inspiring, and if somebody hears that, I mean, for people to be able to hear that story. So I'm gonna unpack it on my channel. But anyway, to all of that, so I get my neatness, my drive from that personality a little bit. It's some similarities. It's some similarities there. So we get that from each other. But I would not be kind of the successes. And however successful you want to say I am, however successful, I think all the good achievements that I've been able to make, especially in academia with my MBA and things like that. My mother had hers, so I was going to get mine, right? So I was going to get my MBA, and I was able to achieve that. But I contribute that to my mother, right? I contribute all of that to her pushing me as a kid, putting me in those advanced classes because she saw what of course, I didn't see as a kid, which challenged me. And the one thing that did, I will say this, I am a person that if I'm faced with challenges, it's just another obstacle for me to get over. I do not back down from them at all. So that experience of schooling and being faced in those hard classes, because those advanced classes prepared me for Shawnee Mission North because there was a difference. Just to be quite honest, there was a difference, and I had to work hard, and I worked real hard. I mean, it wasn't just showing up. I had to come before school to meet with teachers, stay after school to meet with teachers, but I was determined not to be a stereotypical, that's the guy in the back of the class is struggling. I was determined to do that. And my philosophy became, even in college, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get it, as long as we both show up for the test and I got my information, I could pass, that's all that matters. So I had kids that I went to college with that were able to just, I'm like, man, y'all not going to study like, nah, we going out, and they were able to get it. I had to go to the library. I had to do all that. But it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get it. It just matters that you get it. But anyway, that's kind of like, and I promise this is going to be part one, because it's going to be another one. I have to unpack my mother's story some more. I know she's tired. We had Women's Weekend. She been up. I mean, I've been up too, by the way. But anyway, been up doing all that. But I appreciate my mother hanging out with me to do this vlog. Kind of just pulled her in like, hey, can you do it? I didn't prep her. I didn't want to prep her at all. I just wanted her to talk naturally and me to be able to ask the questions. So appreciate her coming to talk with y'all. Is there any like closing remarks as far as me being a great son that you want to tell? Yeah. Nothing? Okay. That's kind of disappointing. I thought there at least be one closing.
You're not giving me a chance.
Okay.
Okay.
Be quiet. So.
But I am very proud, of course, of all my sons, but we're talking about you. I'm very proud of the drive and the tenacity to get things done and the go-get-it mindset. It can be annoying sometimes, but those things that can be annoying are the things that you really appreciate and admire in your children. So that part is, I'm glad to see that has not left you or didn't drop off, but you still, at this age, still have that drive and that push.
Amen. Those are good closing remarks. Greatly appreciate it. Listen, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us. Like I said, there will be another one. Look forward to that. Let's just title this Conversations with My Mama, whatever. But until next time, have a wonderful day. You know, as I always say, inhale, exhale. If you can do that, you're blessed. Make today count. We'll see you all later.